I'm cute. You're cute. She's cute. We're cute. They're cute. He's cute.
It's like one guy in the corner's cute as well. And he's like, am I
cute?
Everyone, am I cute?
Am I cute?
And you're like, you're not supposed to be on this podcast. And he just walks away.
I wish we had a dancing guy in the corner.
I don't think I would appreciate that very much. Who brought the weird guy? Oh, you don't know Ed? I thought you knew Ed. Nope, I don't. He's just dancing in the corner.
Yeah.
Dumb. What a dumb intro to today's episode.
Shut your mouth.
Guys, welcome to the Real Awkward Podcast, the best damn podcast you heard.
Today.
Whoa. Speedy McGee. Yes, today. My name is Andy.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Ashley.
You said it over Amanda.
All these times that you're complaining about how slow go I am.
Yeah, but I didn't know you were
ready. You're never ready.
I didn't know you did a couple lines before we started the podcast today.
Just half a cup of black coffee.
Hey, whatever it takes, baby.
Whatever it takes.
Sometimes you do what you gotta
I feel
do.
the adrenaline in my veins.
Oh man, dude, she's jacked up right now.
Oh,
black
God.
coffee,
I'm
huh?
Sam jacked up.
Oh, Barbara Brown.
Barbara Brown.
Actually, his name's Sam Jack. Guys, this is a Street Cred episode. Amanda, tell them how a Street Cred episode goes.
Well, this is actually a new format of Street Cred we're doing called Street Cred Icons.
I'm sorry, we both
Yes.
interrupted you with a home improvement. Ooh.
Okay, so we're gonna since this is our show and not yours, we're starting a new thing.
You tell them. You tell them.
It's called Street Cred Icons.
Icons.
Icon, you con.
And
we both con together.
Ew.
Here's that dancing guy in the corner.
Yep.
Hey,
Here
Ed.
he comes again. So what we're gonna do is there are
Your
certain
name is
actors,
Ed.
right?
Please apply.
Amanda can't get through anything right now.
can't.
Because we keep talking about Ed in the corner.
Get out of
That's
here, Ed.
Ed in the corner. That's Ed with the spotlight. Losing my religion. Why is Ed losing my religion?
Nobody puts Ed in the corner.
Except for Real Awkward Podcast. Amanda, start this again. We'll get through this 17 minutes later. Intro, real.
Here we go.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
Street Cred Icon. Amanda was describing how this episode will go.
Okay, so there are certain actors that have so many credits, it would take us forever and a day to do their entire filmography, right? So what we've decided to do is take certain actors, whoever, and we are going to pick out a handful of either our favorite movies or the ones that we think are the most popular or the ones that we think people should watch, whatever. We're each compiling a small list, and then we're going to talk about them all in one episode.
Bingo, bango. Django Unchained.
Spoiler. Cross that off my list.
Actually, that wasn't on my list. I feel bad. It should be.
Oh,
So-
well, I guess we'll find out if it's on mine.
Ash, hit us with that bio on Sam Jack. What's up with him?
Quick trivia question.
Yeah.
What's the L stand for?
Samuel.
Leonardo.
Samuel L.
What did
Jackson.
Amanda say?
Leonardo.
Is it? Lewis.
No.
Leonard. Lickety snickets.
Do you want me to tell
Llewellyn.
you, or are you just going to keep guessing?
Lionel.
Schnar, schnar.
Legolas.
Are you ready to? Are you guys ready?
Legolas.
Samuel Leroy Jackson.
Oh,
Leroy Jackson.
At least he has chicken.
Was born in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay.
to Elizabeth Montgomery and Roy Henry Jackson.
All
He
right.
was raised by his mother, a factory worker, and his grandparents. At Morehouse College, Jackson was active in the Black student movement. In the 70s, he joined the Negro Ensemble Company together with Morgan Freeman.
Whoa, I'm Morgan Freeman. What did you say? That's how they talked back and forth.
That's pretty much it. I mean, somebody write a better bio for IMDb.
Sorry, Sam. I would say when you talk about actors, like real legit big name actors, Samuel L. Jackson is like, dude, he's like top 10, right? Would you say top 10?
I think
In the
so.
modern era. In the modern era.
I think he's one of the most popular. I don't
Yeah.
think he's like the best actor ever.
No, and what's
But-
funny is he's never won an Academy Award. Not once.
I mean,
I don't know per se if Samuel L. Jackson is a very versatile actor. But
I agree.
I think once we go through some of our list,
Yeah.
we'll kind of be able to decipher that. But
That's
that's
true.
my
I think
take. That's my hot take.
Samuel L. Jackson plays Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
And some movies, it just works better than others.
Yep.
I wonder when they're casting if they're like, I'm writing this for Samuel L. Jackson, or if he literally has to audition and they're like, can you be Peter Pan?
No.
I'm tired of these motherfucking Lost Boys on this motherfucking fantasy land. Or whatever.
I
it's
don't know.
called.
Guarantee you he's not auditioning.
And they're like, Sam, I'm sorry, we cannot have you be Peter Pan.
I can't imagine at this point in his career he auditions for anything.
No, you're
But
right.
at the
you're
same
right.
time, somebody who's not terribly versatile, but they're still a good actor, you know what you're getting.
You mean like
Fair
Denzel
enough.
Washington?
Exactly. He's another example.
Yep.
Like he is the
My
same guy in
man.
every movie. But if you hire him, you know what you're getting.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
No, but I mean, Samuel Jackson's had an interesting career because for the majority of his early career, he pretty much played like random background guy or
Yep.
like homeless
Hey,
man,
that's his
drug
first credit, actually.
dealer.
Random
I mean-
background guy.
Yeah, he for a really long time, like I would not for like forever, but like 10 years, he kind of played like background guy
Right.
and or like just not the most.
No, it's just
I mean,
smaller characters.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
he was typecast for a long time as like the crackhead or the drug dealer or whatever. And he even plays like kind of like a homeless guy / like drug dealery guy in Coming to America. And that was one of like, that's a role where like blink and you'll miss it. But now when you go back, you're like, oh, that's Samuel L. Jackson.
I don't remember him in that movie.
Yeah,
I
so
need to
he's
watch
like-
that again.
Honestly,
I
the
haven't
Coming
watched
to
since I was a
America
kid.
Yeah.
Coming to America is hilarious. Obviously there's like jokes you can't do anymore. Okay.
I was going to
obviously.
say that one's probably not. That
But
one's didn't they redo
For
it?
what it
No,
is,
second one.
it is very
that's right.
it is very funny. The second one's garbage. Just watch the first one. But basically Samuel L. Jackson, I think he's trying to hold up the McDougal's, like which is like the restaurant.
Okay.
And like Louis Anderson's there. And
R.I.P.
so
All right.
no, it's interesting. And so he gets his big break like early 90s. He really doesn't start being
Yeah.
popular for
Wait, Amanda, was
Yep.
Coming to America on your list?
no, because it was such a small role.
Sure, that makes sense. It wasn't critical.
I don't get it.
It was not.
A critical role.
Oh.
You used to play Pathfinder with us. We nerded out together.
Oh, that was a Pathfinder reference? My bad.
Okay. All right. I'm going to roll this back. All right.
roll this back.
Oh my God. You do the roll better than me.
All right, who's gonna start?
Amanda, what is your first recommendation of a Samuel L. Jackson movie people should watch? And Ash and I, if we have it on our list, we'll cut it out, but then we'll also just add to it if we have anything to say.
So this one is not necessarily a Samuel, like when you think of like top Samuel L. Jackson movies, you probably forget he's in this one.
Okay. I'm ready to
Ready?
cross it off my list. Go ahead.
Jurassic Park.
There it is. Hold on to your butts. Yep. Amanda, why this one? Mainly because of his iconic line or other things?
Hold on to your butts.
Yep.
Okay. Aside from the fact that that line is icon status.
He says it twice
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah, he's just like he's kind of he's a very small character in the movie. He works in the office, like
Yeah.
it's very small. But his character, he always has like a cigarette hanging off his
Yep.
lip.
I actually
And-
rewatched that recently, and it is impressive that the cigarette doesn't fall out of his mouth the way he's talking. Like it really is just hanging there during his lines. But you're right. He essentially has to take over because the head of security ditches out, and he has to like figure it out. So he's almost like nerdy in that
Yeah,
role.
he's Mr.
Yeah.
Arnold, so he has
Yeah.
like glasses and stuff.
Yep.
And so basically his character is trying to undo like the computer virus that Nedry's character takes over the park with. And like my favorite is when he's like trying to make it work. He's like, I did, god damn it. And like the cigarette's just like right there.
He's so mad because he can't get into it.
Yeah.
I think that's iconic, dude. They've made t-shirts and the slogans out of it. And I used to say it all the time and Cammie would laugh, hold on to your butts. And so, yeah, it's such a small role. He really only has like 5 minutes of total screen time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think his severed arm plays a bigger role than he does in the movie.
Yep,
Like, because Laura Dern's like, oh, Mr. Arnold. And then she like pulls an arm. She's like, wow. But you know what's interesting is when I was doing this, I thought that like, I mean, so another movie that I'm sure we'll get to in a minute was his like big catapult into current pop culture.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know why that I thought that Jurassic Park came after that. Jurassic Park actually came before
Oh, interesting.
other movies.
I wonder if that...
Just say it.
Yeah,
Pulp
it's okay.
Fiction. Pulp Fiction,
Oh, there
okay?
you go.
Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction was 90...
94.
When was Jurassic Park? 95?
93.
Oh, yes. No, that makes sense. I mean, he has such a huge role in Pulp Fiction. We might as well move to that one.
Yeah, that was my next one, honestly.
Yeah, and that is the one where he actually didn't win, but he's nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. So
honestly, Jules is such a cool character.
Yep.
Actually, so I wanted to say before we started, Samuel Jackson has 200 film credits on IMDb.
I'm tired
That's
of these
insane.
movies. That's a lot.
But no, so where was I?
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. Sorry, I'm deleting things from my list as we talk, just so I don't get
Don't
confused.
do that.
So honestly, dude, Pulp Fiction. I know that you're not a huge Tarantino fan, Ashley, but that movie is so good. It's just like it's got so much going on that like when you really break it down, you're like, how does this movie work? Like it's literally like it's about Samuel Jackson and John Travolta, and then they somehow get involved and like now they've got to like clean up a dead guy, and then they get like captured, and then Ving Rhames is involved, and now John Travolta's with Uma Thurman, she's overdosing, and then Bruce Willis is now in it, and they're doing a whole different story, but now he meets Ving Rhames. It makes and then all of a sudden the diner they've been in the whole time is getting robbed, and on paper you're like, what the fuck is this movie?
Oh no, Tarantino was based. Yeah, the fact that he made that whole thing work. I know the story itself. Like Ving Rhames is Uma Thurman's lover or something like that, if
Husband.
I'm not mistaken. And
they're married.
They're married. Okay. And he essentially is giving orders to John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. Like he's telling them what to do. And he says that John Travolta's character needs to go take Uma Thurman out on the town. And that's why they're even out at the bars and dancing and all that chaos. But Samuel L. Jackson's character, he pretty much is famous for like his like iconic monologue that he does, right? Before
honestly,
he kills.
The scene, honestly, it's like the way that they're filmed, because like when he like holds out a gun at somebody, it's almost, the camera's almost like the person being shot.
Yeah, it's like looking down the
it.
barrel.
Yeah, and then when he the lines he has in the movie are iconic. Like the way, like, does he look like a bitch? Like,
and he also has a super unique look. I think he has a fro, and then he's got sideburns.
He's got a Jerry curl.
Yeah. That's
He's
what
got,
it is.
like,
That's what it is. Yeah.
And then he's got big sideburns.
Yeah, big chops.
And him and John Travolta, this also reignited John Travolta's career.
Yeah. Yep. You're right.
Because John Travolta was big in like the 70s, early 80s, but then he kind of died down a little bit. And so this really blew up. Quentin Tarantino, Samuel Jackson, and John Travolta, the three of them. It's so good. It's so good. The movie's amazing. The music is amazing. Honestly, the Ezekiel 25:17 is amazing.
Yep. That's the big one.
The Bible verse that he says before he kills people, it's like, Who fucking does that?
That's
and then
Tarantino writing.
Literally,
for
the
you.
only thing I remember from this movie at all is Royale with cheese.
I need a Royale.
What do they call it
with
in
cheese.
France? A Royale with cheese. And so one thing that's funny is later in Avengers, when you see Nick Fury's tombstone, it says Ezekiel 25:17.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
But then
That's
honestly,
a good callback.
back when I used to carry a wallet, because I apparently didn't want to carry a purse back in the day. I had a wallet that said "bad motherfucker" on it, and that's the wallet that Samuel Jackson's character in the movie has a wallet that says "bad motherfucker," and I love that movie. And so if for some reason you're Ashley and you've never seen Pulp Fiction, you have to watch it. You've actually seen it? I honestly thought you
I
hadn't.
think she has seen it. It's just been a hot minute.
I've seen a handful of Quentin Tarantino movies. I just don't enjoy any of them.
So
I do think that while it is violent, I think that Pulp Fiction is his most everybody sort of friendly.
Sure.
yeah, I mean, you can go to way other violent films that he's made and even more crass, to be honest. So
yes,
like this is pretty mild compared to them, but that whole like 70s vibe, but in modern time, like feel that he has going on, and like it's good. He even kind of did that with the Jackie Brown stuff too. So
Jackie Brown was another one. It almost made my list.
Yeah, but he doesn't have as big of a character in that, right?
No.
So
okay. So what do you got?
So I'm gonna go with Die Hard with The Vengeance. So, and the reason I'm putting that one in there is that Samuel L. Jackson literally just plays like, I don't know if he's an accountant or a lawyer or
he's Zeus.
Yeah, but why is he with McClane again? Do you remember why they're in this in the first place? Because
I don't remember. Jeremy
Irons' character is the villain, and he essentially calls McClane out by name, and then he's running around the streets of, I think it's New York.
Yeah.
Like in the sewers and all this stuff. But for some reason, Samuel L. Jackson's character has to be with him the whole time. And so it made it almost a buddy. Like.
So there's bombs and. Yeah. So, Samuel Jackson's character owns like a hardware store, like he can like defuse the bomb or something.
Oh, so they're maybe carrying him around for that, but which is interesting because I bring that up because if I think 94 or 5 when that movie came out, right? I don't think it was later than that.
It's 95.
So he's literally playing that same Jurassic Park like tech like character. Yeah, and he does this in a couple other ones. He actually does this in Deep Blue Sea as well.
That's on my list too.
Yeah, he's like an investor / like
he's like a shark scientist.
Yeah,
like,
and so I and I hate to like jump from Die Hard, but I'm just saying like in that one you get to see a little bit more acting prowess. He basically spends the entire time freaked out and scared. And he keeps telling McClane, like, stop trying to kill me. Like, that's just like that type all over again. But then the same exact thing happens in Deep Blue Sea where he gets these iconic lines where he's like, a shark fucking ate me. Like, where that
honestly,
came after a shark ate him when he was like talking to like interviews or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or MTV or something like that.
Deep Blue Sea is fun because it's very like not Samuel L. Jackson at all.
Yeah.
But it's such a fun, stupid movie. It reminds me very much it's like The Meg, where it's like it's just a horror movie that's fun. Like,
well, and I mean, honestly, I'm going to recommend Deep Blue Sea, not even if you're not a Sam Jack fan. So essentially, it's like the scientist. She's trying to create Alzheimer research. And to do that, they start testing on sharks' brains and they start giving them basically like DNA boosters or something to help their brains grow. And now the sharks are smart. Yes. So Deep Blue Sea is basically like a little bit Jurassic Park with sea creatures, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny just that Sam Jack is in both of those because it's very much the same style of film.
Honestly, the scene where he gets eaten by the shark in Deep Blue Sea is amazing.
It is amazing.
Because he's like standing there yelling at them and like, this, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden this shark comes from behind him, breaks through this glass that's shark proof, and then gets him and then gets the fuck out of there.
That was the best.
It's amazing.
I remember that was one of those scenes where you were just like, whoa. Like, because we hadn't seen anything like that before, right?
Yeah. Well, and then Thomas Jane is like the other person in the movie, and then LL Cool J's in it, and then he does the theme song for the movie. It's amazing.
They were just like, hey, we'll give you a role if you play in this one. Yeah, Thomas Jane is like the hero, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a shark wrangler or some bullshit like that. Have you seen Deep Blue Sea?
Nope.
Oh man, I think we should watch that one together. It's stupid fun.
That was the movie. Like, I know I talk about TNT a lot, but like that was a TNT movie. Like,
fair enough. It
played all the time.
So I mean, I kind of went into Die Hard and Deep Blue Sea with that one, but Ash, what do you got on your list, girl?
So my list is basically a list of movies I've seen.
I love it.
Which is why I'm prepared to cross them off as you guys present them, which the only one I've crossed off so far is Jurassic Park.
Why don't you throw down like a great one that you remember, Sam Jack, in that you liked?
Why don't I just do the one I was going to say just now?
Perfect. Why don't you go ahead and do that?
I'm throwing out The Incredibles.
Ooh.
Yes, that's on my list too.
Frozone.
Yeah, Frozone.
Yeah, Frozone's awesome.
He is awesome. He looked like Geordie LaForge, but with freezing powers.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, like with the Cyclops glasses.
Yeah.
Like,
and honestly, like, especially in the first movie, having such a small role.
Yeah.
The line, the "Where's my super suit" line, that's the line people quote from that movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So for having such a small role, I think it's just because his voice is just like very commanding, and everybody knows Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, I was going to say, and iconic. Yep.
But the character himself is just cool, no pun intended. Like,
yeah,
the rest of the characters in The Incredibles they're like kind of awkward.
They
and
bumble
like,
over each other.
Yeah, exactly. But Frozone's like slick. Again, no pun.
Yeah, and he like slides around
every
ice pun.
Every ice pun you can think of. So is he has a bigger role in the second one, right?
I believe, yeah, he does.
Okay,
but honestly, I think the first one's amazing. And his character as Frozone is great.
That's a good pick.
No, it's great.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, trying to tell me what to say.
So I'm going to steal this one, ladies, just because this guy, Samuel L. Jackson, is the king of sayings. And who didn't for a whole year say, I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane?
People are still saying it.
And
that movie.
It is ridiculous. That movie's ridiculous.
It's amazing.
That movie is
amazing.
Like guilty pleasure ridiculous. Literally snakes engulf a plane.
I've had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Was that the made for TV version?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Dude, I saw this movie in the movie theater. I love this movie.
I think I saw it in the
not
movie
ashamed
theater
about
as well.
it.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Kenan Thompson is in this movie.
Yes, he is.
He's like a passenger that got stuck on there too, but he's the one that after the pilots die, he's able to fly the plane and like this type of stuff.
It's so stupid.
It's so the whole story is absolutely outrageous, but it's Samuel L. Jackson shooting snakes on a motherfucking plane. Like that's the movie.
Honestly,
that's the movie.
The way that it's done, you can tell it doesn't take itself seriously. It knows it's a stupid movie.
Yeah, the premise.
And so they're gonna have fun with it. Honestly, do you remember the song that came out?
Oh my god.
It had Cobra Starship.
Oh, now it's starting to come to me.
Shit, let me find it.
You know what we'll do is when we post the Instagram, let's link that song to it. Got to link that song to it because you'll find it on the Instagram for the story. But you're right. I bet that blew them up because that movie. I don't know what year that was. Amanda, do you have the year down on Snakes on a Plane? 1998?
No, but
I mean 2008.
2000 something.
2008, 2007?
2006.
2006. That was a big deal. That movie was a
Movie's
big
amazing.
deal. I remember people talking about it. I remember people being like, this is like ridiculous, but we got to go see it. So,
Well, because there's a
Yeah.
scene where like some guy and this girl, she's like she must be a porn star, but they're like in the bathroom, like Mile High Club, and then these snakes come out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and like bite her on the boob, and you're just like, oh my god.
I do wonder if it holds up graphics wise to this day, or if the snakes look really terrible. Because I haven't watched it in a long time.
They looked bad then,
Yeah. So it's got to be bad. It's got to be bad.
so they're gonna look even better now, baby.
All right. So I stole Snakes on a Plane, but I think if anybody who hasn't seen Snakes on a Plane, do yourself a favor. Enjoy that one.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah.
So another movie that I think that he was the casting at first was odd, and it's still a little odd, but I thought it was good. We have to talk about the Star Wars prequels.
Oh, I
have to
put
talk
it
about
down.
Mace Windu.
Okay, I'm seriously, Amanda. I wrote Star Wars, and then I wrote asterisk terrible. I was like, basically, I'm reminding myself, though you're recommending this movie, it is not because it was good. It's just because it's iconic.
Oh,
so
just wait for Nicolas Cage, bitch, because
Oh.
I have a ton that I'm like, it's terrible. That's why you have to watch it.
no, I will say though, Mace Windu has quite the character that people remember. So
So, Mace Windu, it was very just like, why is Samuel L. Jackson here? Like, what?
yeah, right.
But I think they did a good job. They made his character very calm, and he's just kind of like not really like a Yoda, but kind of like a Yoda kind of level-headedness.
Yeah. He's pretty much the leader of the Jedi Council, right?
And then I love that he needed to have his own lightsaber color.
Purple. Yep.
And it's one of those things where like it doesn't make any sense, and that's why I love it.
Well, and he at least gets to have a cool battle with Palpatine, right? Like that whole like Mace Windu, like he's like electrocuting him, and that's why he looks all scarred and stuff. I mean, so at least they gave him a reason.
But then Palpatine like kicks him out of the window like a little bitch.
No, he goes out like a bitch, but
he does.
But I do remember at least like being like, all right, Sam Jack made it into this movie. I'll give him like hats off for that. Do you remember?
He
in
made all
Star
three.
Wars? No, Ash is like, I don't remember no purple lightsaber.
Well, and then
If you asked,
also
if you were
in-
like, was Sam Jack in Star Wars? I'd be like, no.
Well, he was also in like the Clone Wars stuff too. So
Yep.
his character has definitely lived on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So-
There's been a lot there.
What about Unbreakable?
I have
That's
that one on
what
here too.
I was gonna say next.
I want to hear Ash's opinion because I know you've seen this movie, you like this movie, but then I don't know how you felt about Split and Glass.
Unbreakable was on the top of my list because I think this was the first time I knew who Sam Jack was.
Oh, this was like your...
Because this came out in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
I was just entering high school, so I wasn't watching a lot of like adult themed films.
Sure.
Which is what most of his movies are, right?
Yeah.
They're like rated R or whatever, PG-13, whatever, or too boring for me to watch as a kid. But I remember really loving the Unbreakable story.
Yeah, me too.
And I really liked his character because he was kind of mysterious and you didn't really know much about him. Split, incredible.
Yeah.
But he wasn't in it, right?
So good.
What?
Split.
No, he wasn't,
wasn't
in
in
it.
it.
No.
Split's one of those movies where every time I see it, I'm like, I need to watch that again because I remember just loving it. Like, he's coming for you. You're not gonna like it,
Dude.
I
James
love it.
McAvoy. That's
Incredible.
We never have done him, and we need to do a street
No.
cred on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Glass.
Okay, give me Glass. What do you
Glass
think?
was awful.
So here's the deal. You've got this great origin story where you're like, oh my God, dude, it's his friend. He's trying to help him figure out what happened and what's going on. This incredible M. Night Shyamalan twist where he's actually the villain the entire time and he's the one who's been killing everyone, trying to find a superhero that was his polar opposite. And like, that's an incredible story. That's great storytelling. Samuel L. Jackson plays a great Glass. I loved his character. I think he has like a little bit of like a kid in play, like afro going on,
like,
right?
Like, it's like the sides are kind of like slightly bushy, and then he's got that like pie slice out of it.
Right? Does he have a comb in it or not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Honestly, I just the name Mr. Glass.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
I think that's such a cool character name. And then that movie, and it's funny because now Bruce Willis and at that point, that was like 3 big movies they had done together.
Yeah, you're right.
And
you're right.
Like, I don't know. I think they play off each other very well, and I think that in that movie especially, they are the antithesis of the other.
Yep.
And I think that that movie did so well that when they reveal that Split is part of the universe, that like going into the Glass movie, I was just like, yes, like I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
And to have it be such a stinker was like, oh,
it literally felt like it just came and went.
Well,
like,
it was tough. I rewatched in doing research on this. I rewatched the Glass trailer because I forgot about how it went. And essentially, they're all at a psych ward. And she's like, I specialize in trying to cure people of believing that they're superheroes. And is his name David Dunn? Is that Bruce Willis's character's name? Something like that.
Don't know.
But she's like, you believe that you have superhuman strength and you believe like that you can touch people and get their memories. And then she looks at James McAvoy's character. You believe that you have all these personalities, but that you also have a beast inside you who's super strong and crazy. And she looks at Samuel Jackson. She's like, and you're broken, but you're really smart. And I remember like that was pretty much how it summed up that movie storytelling. It was just pretty rough. I know Samuel L. Jackson was like, he played the Joker in how he got Harvey Dent to turn around. Mm-hmm. Like, that where he just kind of brought him into the fold. He basically did that by saying, I guess the bad guys are teaming up together. That famous line from that one. But it really did like, it made you feel like it went out with a whimper and not a bang like it should have.
Well, and they set it up, and the way that they kind of built it up, and he's like, I've been planning this for a long time, and you're like, oh yeah, baby. Like you're ready. And then it just kind of like, I'm planning this for a long time.
And then it's just a fight in the grass in front of the psych ward. That's it.
It's like sad trombone. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're watching it's just like wah, wah, and you're just like, I don't know. Okay. Like,
so that happened.
Okay. So that's a good one, Ash. I think that's an awesome one. I think Unbreakable deserves to be on that list of like great Sam Jack movies. Amanda, I am going to go with Black Snake Moan.
I did not have that.
What?
That's on my list.
You like that one a
liked
lot.
it.
I think that movie's good. I cannot get over Samuel L. Jackson's crazy eye.
Okay, now this
His
is what's
crazy
cool
eyes.
about him is that, remember earlier when you were describing Samuel L. Jackson as a homeless man? And it's like they took that character. He's in a wife beater. His hair's all disshuffled. He lives like
Disheveled.
What did I say?
You said
Disheveled.
disheveled.
He lives out in the country, and this girl that's a druggy partier, all sorts of stuff. He ends up trying to make her right in his own, eyes, and chains her up. It's Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
He chains her up at the house and is basically like, I'm not letting you go till you like are a woman of God or something similar to that.
Yeah, because
So,
wasn't she like a sex worker?
Yeah, I
or
think she's like a
drug user or
prostitute /
something?
druggie. Yep.
And so he decides to like cure her and
Yeah.
stuff like that, like save her.
I just remember that relationship I thought was done really, really well. I thought Sam Jack played crazy, crazy backwoods dude. Like, and of course they're playing on the tropes of like, dude, you're a black guy. You're going to take a little white girl and chain her up in your house. You can't do that. And like, that's kind of how the story was progressing, that somehow, and I think if I'm not mistaken, she ends up like thanking him like at the end and ends up like rehabilitating herself due to what he was doing to her, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's a great movie. I think people need to see Black Snake
this
Moan.
is when Justin Timberlake started getting into acting too.
Oh, he's in that,
he
isn't
had done
he?
a few before this, but yeah, this was when he kind of got his start.
I didn't know he was in that.
I think he's a boyfriend or
I
something.
think he
right?
was her boyfriend. Yeah.
So, yeah. But Amanda, you've seen it all the way through.
Yeah, but it was like Blockbuster. I've
Yeah,
seen.
yeah. I'm gonna put that up on the list though of Sam Jack movies I think people need to see.
I remember like I thought it was okay. It was like I was one and done. Like
Yeah.
I didn't love that he was just like constantly like it was every scene he's just like
No, you're right, dude. He's like freaking
full white
wide-eyed.
around his eyeballs.
Wide-eyed, just creeping at her.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, bitch, don't you move.
And it's like, I'm sorry, but like, in the front cover of the movie, he's like standing there, just like, and I'm just like, that's
Yeah.
his face the whole movie.
Yeah, that is his face the entire movie. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Go ahead.
How about his character Valentine from the Kingsman movie?
Dude, I forgot he was even in that. I literally
Oh.
forgot he was even in that. I need to rewatch it again because I don't remember him having such a vital role in that.
He
one.
was the bad guy.
I
so
don't. Was that
it's
in the
still
first one?
stupid.
Not
Yeah,
the first one.
The first one.
Dude, I don't
So-
remember. Why do I not remember him being the bad guy in that one?
His character, it's like they literally told him, like, okay, so remember in the, I chose not to include the spirit.
Oh, I have it on the list because I wanted to make fun of it.
Oh, it's awful.
right?
It's awful. So that character very much seemed like they told him, like, yeah, be way over the top, do whatever
Sure.
you want. And then for Kingsman, they were like, do that, but different. And so
You're
his
right.
character is like,
yeah.
he's got a lisp and he wears like a sideways baseball hat and he kind of walks funny.
Oh,
And
okay.
like,
I'm remembering it now. Yep,
his
I'm remembering it.
character is just so over the top.
He is. You're right.
And that it's just like, what the fuck is this?
It's
like,
just
this
interesting.
is a fever dream.
Well, for them to be so astute and gentlemanly, oh my god, yeah. And then all of a sudden they got this like half-witted gangsta to go up against at the end of the movie was quite interesting of a choice. But I will say, Samuel Jackson being in a movie, that movie's amazing.
That movie is so good.
That's really good. Yep. Only
I love
because you
Kingsman.
brought it up, I'm going to say The Spirit, only because he plays a villain called the Octopus.
It's awful.
He plays a villain called the Octopus, and the way that he, quote unquote, looks like an octopus is he has like mascara running down his eyes in 8 different droplets, 4 on each eye. And
yeah, but it doesn't even work. It's like that. It would look better. Okay, if his character design looked like Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
it would have worked better.
I agree.
Where it was
I
like
agree.
pulls, but like it's like someone went in there with an eyeliner pencil because
Yeah.
it looks like shit, and just like draw like a really thick underlined, and then just like a line with a ball at the end.
It's
a
awful.
line and a ball at
It's
the end.
awful. And
terrible.
But again, he gets an iconic line. There's egg on my face because he's just mad that he got duped. It's awful.
so stupid.
It's awful.
It's so stupid.
I think we would be remiss not to talk about just his Nick Fury role.
Well, okay, let's save that for the end because I think
Okay.
that's going to be the longest one.
Okay, so we'll come back to.
I didn't even put that on my list.
You didn't?
No,
Oh,
because
it's not a
he's in
movie.
so
I
many.
know. You almost have to talk to him.
And that's what
about him as a character.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna say Rules of Engagement. Have you guys seen this movie? Amanda, you should have. You're a Tommy Lee Jones fan.
Yeah, no, I have.
Okay, so essentially, Samuel L. Jackson gets framed for murder underneath the military court, and they're all trying to jump at him, and Tommy Lee Jones is his attorney, if I'm not mistaken. But this movie is where I would say Samuel L. Jackson doesn't play Samuel L. Jackson. He has like a different character, like emotional and heartfelt and dramatic, and it's not as much just like yelly angry man, which he does all the time.
He's got to have one angry yelly man line.
Well, no, there's been some. Like, he really gets heated a couple times. But I would say that as a drama, people would enjoy that movie a lot. I think they did a good job. So
Yeah, it's like part courtroom drama / war thriller.
Yeah, because it talks about his past histories and like what he's done, and so it does some flashbacks and stuff in there. So
no, it's good.
Yep.
It's a good movie. It's similar vein to like A Few Good Men. Or no,
it's literally like a carbon copy in the way that they try to tell the story. So yeah.
But no, that's good. Did you watch Kong Skull Island?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't remember him in that.
Yeah, so his character his name is Preston Packard, and he's like the lieutenant of the soldiers that bring like John Goodman, Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston onto the island. And so they go on the island, and like the island itself, like all the creatures, but also King Kong, are like killing all these soldiers, and he's like taking down all the helicopters and stuff.
Yeah.
And Samuel L. Jackson's character is like their leader.
Okay. See, and I don't even. And this is the one that was part of the universe of Godzilla versus Kong, correct?
Yeah, but it was just King Kong.
It kicked off the King Kong side of it.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
So it's basically it's they go to Skull Island. It's the first 2/3 of the Peter Jackson one.
Right. Right.
And so they go to the island, and like that movie, it has some forgettable moments, but like. That I really like that movie. If you've never seen it,
no, I actually rewatched all 3, but I feel bad that I don't remember Sam Jack being in it.
It's a really good, just like action movie.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
shit blows up. There's people dying. There's creepy creatures.
Yeah,
it's good. And so Samuel L. Jackson essentially makes it like a revenge thing where he wants to get revenge on King Kong for killing all his soldiers.
Oh, got it.
And that's like
I'm tired of this motherfucking monkey on this motherfucking island.
Yeah, it's essentially that. His character is a little much at times.
Sure.
But
cue Sam Jack.
Yeah. He's very much Samuel L. Jackson in this movie.
Right.
But I really like it, and I think it's really good.
I'm going to talk about some throwaways before we get into some of the good stuff too. 1408, you guys remember that one?
Yeah.
That's a good
John
movie.
Cusack.
It's a great movie, but Sam Jack does not, he doesn't a whole lot for the film. He just is running the hotel that John Cusack has to go into. And it's haunted, and he's like, don't go in there. I told you not to go in there.
He's like the main antagonist,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have a humongous role.
No, because John Cusack doesn't believe in ghosts, essentially, or like paranormal. And his daughter dies, and he's basically trying to make contact with her. But I remember that one being a pretty good one. It's just that it's a good movie where I don't think Samuel Jackson makes the movie good. So
it's a good movie where his role is entirely forgettable.
Yeah, fair. And then also Jumper.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Yeah. So I actually, again, I rewatched the trailer because I was like, I don't really remember Jumper a lot. I remember like Hayden Christensen jumping around and stuff. But then I was like, oh, that's right. Samuel L. Jackson is part of the bounty hunters that take down the jumpers.
He's the main bad guy.
Yeah. And like because they can jump and teleport, to get them, they have fucking grappling hooks that they like shoot at them and like go through their body. Like, so it's pretty intense. And like, he has like this ragtag group of other mercenaries that are going after Hayden Christensen and all of this stuff. So I actually want to rewatch Jumper because I wonder if I'm giving it hate when it might not be that bad of a movie. Because from an action set piece, it's pretty epic on what the stuff they were doing. So
yeah, it's not like terrible, but
Yeah.
I remember being like, man, these shots are cooler than the movie itself.
yes, the truth.
Because they set up some really cool, like big landscape shots where the jumpers were on top of the pyramid or on top of whatever.
Yeah.
But like in reality, that to me was the best part of the movie.
Well, yeah, I remember it being a doinker, but now I'm trying. I want to give it another watch. So
Honestly, one that he's in that's a doinker that I really didn't want to be a doinker is the Miss Peregrine's School for Wayward Children.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
bad.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
really
Yeah, Ash-
bad.
We
When was
saw that
that?
in the movie theater.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say it was years ago.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
eight years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I love Eva Green. The plot of the movie works because it's like kids with special powers go to the school. Oh, like of course it's gonna work.
Yeah, how are you gonna screw it up?
But it's like visually the movie's really cool, but like it just kind of falls flat. And Samuel L. Jackson's character is like the bad guy, and his character design is interesting. They have him like in like bleached blonde hair, and he has these like crazy giant teeth. And
he looks like that in Jumper too, doesn't he? Doesn't he have
he's got
bleached
like
blonde hair?
silver hair.
Oh yeah,
he's got
silver hair.
He looks like
Okay.
Cisco.
Thong, the thong, thong, thong.
And so I wanted the Miss Peregrine movie to be so much better than it was. That one was a doinker big time.
Doink. See, and I didn't watch it. I don't even remember you guys going to see it, to be honest. So
We went and saw it because we had just come off of watching Penny Dreadful.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Was that it?
Oh my
With
God, I
Eva
love that
Green?
show.
Such a good
Yeah.
show. And we're like, Eva Green is awesome. So this has to be too, but she was probably the only good thing about that movie.
Sad.
Yeah, her acting in
Yeah.
it was fine, but it just like everything else around her just did not work.
But
Yeah.
even Sam Jack 8 years ago should have been a banger, like
It just
of a
wasn't-
character.
It just wasn't, the movie just wasn't well done. Like
Yeah.
it was just boring.
Sad.
Yeah.
Did either of you, while we were at Blockbuster, watch Cleaner?
Ooh.
Yes.
Is that where he's like a
cleaner?
hit-
Yeah.
No, he's
What?
a hitman, right?
No,
Oh.
he's
a crime scene cleaner.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
He's an
Okay.
ex-cop. He's like retired cop,
Yep.
and he becomes a crime scene cleaner, and he ends up basically like covering up a crime scene.
Oh, see, I
Yeah, so-
didn't see it. I remember you guys liking it a lot, though, right?
Yeah,
It's
I
good.
remember liking
It was
a lot.
one. It was one that came out, and like on my Blockbuster, I think we got like 2 or 3 copies of it. Like it was not a huge release, but it's essentially he's a crime scene cleaner, and he gets called to a job, and he finds out afterwards that it was like all some bullshit, and he cleans up a murder before the police knew about it.
Got it. That's cool. I like that storytelling.
And so I think he's like trying to solve the case.
Now he's played that before, right? Like a either crime scene investigator or like a
Cop.
FBI kind of that type of style. A lot of times he gets kind of pigeonholed into that role. So
You know a movie where he plays a cop?
The other guys?
The Other Guys.
and he's not credited, right? I thought him
No,
and The Rock aren't credited in that movie for some reason. I could be
I don't
wrong.
remember
but-
if they are. I think they are. They have
are.
enough screen time.
Okay, so maybe they just didn't. Where they weren't in the trailer, so they wanted to be like a
No.
fun
Honestly,
thing.
like the Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock as Danson and Highsmith are so fucking funny.
They should
Yeah.
have done a movie with that with
Yes.
them.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Not even maybe. I don't even know if I could do a whole movie of them.
Sure, it would be a lot.
Like, give me like a 15-minute, like something.
Like a
it
short.
was so
Yes, to a
funny.
series, but-
I like you guys know how much I love that movie. I watch it.
yeah.
It's one of my like comfort movies. I watch it all the time.
It's a good one.
It's so stupid, but like just them. I love it. The movie starts out and you're like, oh, it's gonna be about Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. It starts out
yeah.
and
Yep.
for the first like 15, 20 minutes, for like 15 minutes of this movie, you're watching them.
Yeah, I
and-
remember that.
It's so stupid.
Because they're just
and
like
I
balls
love
to the
it.
walls action stars,
Uh-huh.
right?
Oh,
Both of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like Samuel Jackson like drives his car through the middle of a bus
Yep.
and then like they drive it into a building.
And they all cheer,
so
like they're all
stupid.
cheering them and
Oh.
stuff at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that was a good
It's
one.
so
That was a
funny.
good one.
else you got?
Negotiator. You guys remember Negotiator?
No.
I don't.
It was
I don't
one that
know.
I saw in his credits, and I was like, I feel like I should have seen this, but I don't think I have.
Dude, so I'm going to say this, okay? Number one.
Kevin Spacey.
Number one, Kevin Spacey has been acquitted and everything was bullshit. And the whole man's career has been ruined. So we can talk about Kevin Spacey again because he was a phenomenal actor. And him and Samuel Jackson have a badass movie that they're in. Samuel Jackson is a negotiator for the police department, okay? Some of the best. He got them out of sticky situations. Well, tables turn and he is now holding up a building because they're trying to frame him for whatever reason. Kevin Spacey is now the new negotiator. So now it's a negotiator trying to negotiate with a guy who used to be a negotiator. So it's kind of this really
Interesting.
cool like back and forth. And what's cool about the story is Kevin Spacey figures out that it's all bullshit and then ends up joining Samuel L. Jackson with him. So now the whole other precinct has to negotiate with two negotiators that are trapped in this building. So it's like layer upon layer, but both of them incredible actors in it. Kevin Spacey, I feel like, was in his prime during this time. This is a good movie. It's a good movie. I recommend people watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch this. I don't know if I've ever seen it at all, or if not the whole way.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at like pictures of the movie, and I'm like, I feel like I've seen this, but looking at this cast list, it's all mid-90s cop movie guys.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm just like, fuck, I gotta watch this.
100%. 100%.
Okay, The Negotiator.
Put The Negotiator on your list, ladies. I think you'll like it. And then also, you thought Sam Jack was done being a nerd, dealing with like sci-fi stuff. No. Then he was in Sphere with frickin' Dustin Hoffman and Sharon Stone, where this AI computer starts taking things over, and they go try to have conversations with it, and it starts becoming like a horror / sci-fi movie. I don't remember it being great. I remember it like getting some good reviews, but it was okay.
It was fine. I wanted it to be like Event Horizon.
Yeah, and which is like a creepy horror movie, but Sphere was not
space
like
horror.
Yep.
Space horror is like one of my favorite genres. Event Horizon is more. It's who is it? Lawrence Fishburne. And Sam Neill.
And Sam Neill.
And it's space horror.
Where they
and
go through the gates of hell, and they find out that when they went through this portal, it sends them into the frickin' depths.
Love it.
Where everyone's killing each other and mutilating each other. Okay, do you guys have any others before we talk about Nick Fury?
I have one other one, but what do you got, Ashley?
We haven't talked about Django Unchained yet. I know Amanda mentioned it was on her list, but we haven't talked about it.
Yep.
That's my last one.
Okay, I would say nothing against Samuel Jackson. I think he's wonderful. I think Leonardo DiCaprio is... Wait, Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, and Jamie Foxx.
They steal the show.
They stole it.
They
and
steal
Christoph
the
Waltz.
show,
Oh my
dude.
God.
Incredible. But the fact that Leonardo DiCaprio, which go listen to our Leo DiCaprio Street Cred, he method acted for that role and would not talk to any of the African-American actors on set. Yep.
Whoa.
He was like, if I'm going to be a slave trader owner, like, I'm going to pretend to be how I was in this. And apparently it was just awkward. Right. But I always forget Samuel Jackson was in that one.
Yeah. He was like the manservant. He was like the butler of
DiCaprio?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay,
like,
right.
He was like the butler for his father.
Yeah.
And so, now because the family owns him, he will stay that. But he's like an old man.
And it's Tarantino, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you like that one,
I
though.
like that one.
And she doesn't like Tarantino, but she liked that one. I remember you enjoying it. But also, the roles that they play, guys, the casting choices are amazing.
Honestly, Christoph Waltz, that's the first time I saw him, and I think he's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I started to like him. So that would think that was a big part of it. And Jamie Foxx.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I was impressed
that's
with
where
Jamie
I'm like,
Foxx.
whoa, Jamie Foxx is actually a really good actor.
Yeah.
And it's one that like it's very different for Tarantino in a way, but then at the end it catches up on itself. But like it's such a good movie. Like it's got, and you wouldn't think that like an almost 70s vibe, like slash slave movie slash like whatever it was.
Western. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You wouldn't think it all works, but then it just does. Django Unchained is incredible. I really, really love that
Jamie
movie.
Foxx and Christoph Waltz, like they free people, right? Isn't that like they go?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
Jamie Foxx is trying to find his wife.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And honestly, Ashley, have you ever seen Inglourious Bastards?
No.
Okay, it's a lot, but you should watch it because Christoph Waltz's performance in that movie is amazing.
I agree. I think you would think it's awesome.
Right.
It's very tense.
Yep. And it's a alternate reality of what happened to the Nazis,
We've
which
talked
makes
about
it cool.
before. What
yeah.
we talked about on
the
blah, 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 blah.
somebody. So we talked about someone who's in that
Yeah,
movie.
when did we talk
Brad
about
Pitt?
it?
Brad Pitt.
Brad
No.
Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Bad Pitt.
Bad Pitt.
Yeah.
yes, I can't take anything away from that movie. I feel bad. Samuel Jackson's in it. Whether he was in it or not, I think that the movie
and it's wild
the movie's
because
incredible.
That's a huge on like there's a lot of people in that movie. And it's an interesting one because Jamie Foxx is the main character, but like Christoph Waltz and Leonardo DiCaprio, I think you would technically call them like, supporting, but they're just right there with him.
Well,
it's the three of them.
Well, DiCaprio's the villain.
Yeah, but I'm just saying like it's the three of them, and then Samuel Jackson's just kind of like right there too. And it's like,
but still a big name actor.
It's wild. That movie is fantastic.
I think that's a good one to be towards the end here.
I got one last one that I want to mention.
Oh,
go for it.
And this is just from looking at his credits. I did not know he was in this, but did you know that he was in 3 episodes of Ghost Rider?
Like the kids
Ghost
show?
Rider.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Was he just
I loved that show.
Was he just the adult that's like, you children shouldn't be here?
Probably in 3 episodes.
No, I actually
Maybe
didn't
it was
know that.
someone's dad.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Probably one of the kids' dads.
We used to love that show. And do you remember the bad guy, the not Ivan Ooze, but it was like a little purple doll? Do you remember?
In Ghost Rider?
Yes.
Oh no,
okay.
I have to watch this or look it up.
Look it up, like Ghost Rider purple monster.
Okay.
And so it's like he I don't remember how he came to be, but it was like somebody wrote a story about him and then he came to life, or he was a toy or something. But he was like the main bad guy. He used to scare the shit out of me when I was
going to say, guys, if you're listening, look up, what's his name, Ash?
Gooey Gus the slime monster.
Look up Gooey
Gus.
Gooey Gus the slime monster
Gooey
from the original kids show Ghost Rider.
Dude, that Gooey Gus used to scare the shit out of me.
Gooey Gus looks like a melted bar of soap.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, he looks like someone had like a Grimace action figure and left him in the sun for too long.
It's my birthday.
And then put a leather jacket on him.
Oh God, that's incredible.
I do want to take a quick look. I want to look up what he has coming out.
Oh, sure. You got anything that you're excited for aside from the Marvels, which I think that's in November, if I'm not mistaken.
I know it comes out this year.
Yeah. Yas. Yas, Queen.
Released.
I'm tired of these.
I got it. Okay, so
okay,
Scott,
I'm here.
You're there. You want to do it?
I mean, do you want to do it? I feel like
this is my job.
Okay, fine, do it.
Don't
it's your
take away
thing.
my producer.
So he does have the Marvels coming out. We talked about that. A movie called The Kill Room.
Okay.
Which I kind of am interested in. It's with Uma Thurman.
Okay.
Movie called The Piano Lesson. He's the voice of Vic in Garfield.
Oh God, they're making a Garfield movie. I forgot.
They're making a Garfield movie, or they made it already, I guess. Yeah. A movie called Argyle. A movie called Damaged. A movie called Last Meals. A movie where he's a voice called Father Mucka.
Oh no.
An untitled Grumpy Old Men project.
Okay, that might be cool if he is one of them.
Yeah.
Like Jack Lemmon or Walter Matthau's character.
That would be cool to bring that back. And then his last one is called Morris Stokes.
So he's not doing any Marvel projects then?
No.
After the Marvels. Wow. Yeah. I wonder if he dies.
Slated.
I wonder if he dies in that one. Just saying.
Isn't everybody
No, Nick Fury will probably die. He probably wants to get out of this. He's probably I don't want to be Nick Fury anymore.
Honestly, he's older now.
Yeah.
Okay, so interesting. So Argyle, I looked it up. So it's being done by Matthew Vaughn.
Oh, I love that.
Who did
Batman,
like, Kick-Ass, X-Men First Class, Kingsman. And it says the world's greatest spy, Argyle, gets caught up in a globe-trotting adventure, but it's got Henry Cavill in it.
Ooh.
All right.
Sans mustache.
Yeah, he's got this weird like flat top thing though. I'm not feeling it. And then The Kill Room sounds interesting.
All right.
But
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'd watch these.
Ladies, what are you gonna?
Oh, The Kill Room's got Joe Manganiello in it.
Ooh, he's supposed to be Deathstroke, and then they canceled it.
I know, it would have been so good.
It would have been good. So, ladies, what are you gonna go watch? What Sam Jack movie are you watching?
I want to make a run through all the Quentin Tarantino films again.
There you go. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think Ash might end up liking the ones that you haven't seen that you were talking about, like Inglourious Bastards and
Maybe.
Yep. Okay.
And then I want to watch. I'll probably end up watching Captain Marvel again because I want to get caught up before I see the Marvels.
Refresher.
Yeah.
Yep. What about you?
What about you?
Out of everything you guys mentioned, probably The Negotiator.
I think you'd like that one.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I forgot about that one.
I think you'd like that one.
What about you, Andy?
Geez, man. There was one that honestly, we didn't talk about this here, but he's been in some decent dramas too. Like I've never seen Coach Carter.
Oh yeah.
Right? And there was another one that he was in more recently that was in that like drama filled stuff. I think I would just seek out Sam Jack movies I haven't seen than what was on that list. Because most of the stuff
Have you ever seen Shaft?
Oh, no, I haven't seen Shaft. I probably should watch Shaft.
Okay,
yeah.
Shaft. That was one that I used to own on VHS that I watched all the time. And it's not good. But so it's obviously Sam Jack is Shaft and Christian Bale is the bad guy.
Oh, okay. Did you say VHS?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right.
All right.
I'll watch it.
It's like late. I think it's like 2002. Like it's.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up.
I'll watch it.
And then they made a Shaft sequel, which I'm not going to watch.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, Amanda.
Awesome. Yes.
Andy mentioned to you before we started recording that he had a surprise for you.
Oh, I totally forgot.
Oh, okay. So I was on our review page of Apple Music and we got a new review.
Woo!
And the review says, these guys don't even know what movies they're talking about. Half the time that they're reviewing movies, they either haven't seen it or have completely forgotten it. This is a waste of my time. From like Soccer Stud 01 or something like that.
I love it.
Hey,
Thank
listen,
you, Soccer Stud.
if you ever come back and listen to a Soccer Stud, you're welcome, buddy. I'm glad we can help you out.
Bad reviews are good reviews.
Hey, you know what, Soccer Stud? Eat a dick. I love it.
Eat a dick, buddy.
Honestly, to me, I'm like, that means that
he listened to one episode.
That means we made it.
No,
If
guys. What he listened to is he paid to John Goodman and realized we hadn't seen any of those movies. Or Rosario Dawson when that comes out.
What episode?
It's probably Brad Pitt.
He listened to Rosario Dawson before we released it. Wow.
He's a stud.
Wow,
He's a
soccer
hacker.
stud. You play more than just soccer.
That's my surprise.
Okay, so it didn't say what episode he commented on. It was just like a review.
It's just a random like review of the podcast on Apple. So I knew it was Booge anyway. So that's funny.
Apple.
All right.
Well, Soccer Stud.
Amanda, where can other people come and comment on us and tell us that we're a waste of their time?
You can come tell us that we're a waste of your time at our Instagram at Real Awkward Podcast. You can also come talk about how much of a waste of a time and how we know nothing about movies at our TikTok at Real Awkward Podcast.
Woo! Be the 11th follower. Who's it gonna be?
Oh, girl!
We jumped on the TikTok late. I'm sorry. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.